You're listening to the Claret and Big Blue podcast on the Pass the Gravy Podcast Network.
Damn, Daniel.
And we are live.
We'll do it live!
Welcome everyone to the Claret and Big Blue, probably the only podcast on the internet dedicated to West Ham United and the New York Giants. That's right, football, balls. For everyone's FaceTime, Mike Krishna. I am joined as always by the man who loves those sandals resorts. It's Mr. Alex Middleton. Alex, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing all right, man. Wish we were doing this pod after a win, but I'm hanging in there, pal. How about you?
Yeah, not doing too bad. Not doing too bad. I think we're coming out of a couple of defeats, but they're not the worst kind of defeats. It's not like we got destroyed. There's things we can improve on, so it's not the end of the world. Giants are still 6-2.
6-2. Hell. I'm not gonna apologize. Suck our dicks, everybody that hated on us. We're 6-2.
And in the update since we last were live, I've got a new little setup here. I've got a little nice standing desk, so the view in the background is slightly different. New camera, so I'm not fish-eyed. However, it seems to be really it's almost too good where my skin looks terrible. Like, what the fuck? I've just noticed.
That's some shit. You gotta get one of those. Do you have a ring light? You gotta get one of those.
I've got one. Maybe I'm not set it up right.
Maybe set it at an angle. I don't know. I don't know how to work lighting necessarily.
This is a bit better.
That's perfect. Do it like if it was Halloween this time next year, you could just do it with a flashlight.
Ooh.
And here was the scary tale about the scary thing we're telling you about.
And then they never returned from the forest.
Never heard from him ever again.
They were never there at all. He was on his own.
Do you guys have people that trick or treat at your house? You live in a neighborhood, I know that.
Yes, but luckily we're on a very steep incline.
Yeah.
So it's pretty much only the people that live on the street bother on this street. And there's only one family that has kids, apparently. And so I only got to let down one person by saying, yeah, I didn't bother buying candy this year. Sorry.
Oh, what? You didn't even buy candy?
No.
Dude, you always got to get candy. And then, worst case scenario, you have candy. You get stuff you like, and you're like, there's probably not going to be anybody here. Oh, real shame. Now I have all of this candy all to myself.
No, so the trick is I wait until the day after Halloween and then get branded stuff.
Well, now you got to put it in the closet or something for a year and then just have old candy. And so then not only will they not want to go back to your house, or they might not go to your house in the first place, but they'll just be like, oh, that old candy. Don't go to their house. Don't go to the British guy's house.
I've skimmed all really obscure, shitty candy. Who's even heard of this?
This is some fish and chips. There you go. Want some vinegar?
And by front of the waffles, yes, I'm currently standing up. I'm freeballing it right now.
Desk.
The only thing is because with the switch, so we bought 2 standing desks, so one for the wife, my wife. So she's got a standing desk in the other room for her. So I had to move her Peloton bike. So her Peloton bike is right next to me. So if I sit down at my desk, the nice view is just the arse end of a Peloton bike.
Dude, is she going to start doing workouts while we're doing the pod? That'd be tight.
Maybe if we do another watch along, that'd be pretty fun.
Yeah.
Well, maybe I could just move it and we could do a charity stream where I'm doing Peloton during the podcast.
Yeah. And I'll just hang out and be like, that's their thing. I'm not going to do that.
Speaking of, before we get into sports, before charity, jog my memory. So are you familiar? So it's November 1st as we're recording this live and in person. Come to cubpod.com for all the live links. Have you heard of, I'm sure you have, of this thing that the kids are talking. No Nut November.
Yeah, that's been a thing for a couple of years now, hasn't it?
It's the
I don't
dumbest.
participate.
It's one of the dumb. Like, what is the point?
I think that it gets you to focus on other stuff instead of like jerking off.
How much do you jerk off?
I mean, maybe
You're
people
like,
have problems
"Oh my
with
God, I
it
have
and
so
they
much more
need to do
time
No
for
Nut
activities."
November to do that. Yeah, like I don't understand how much time. Like it's like it doesn't take that long. You know, it's not for me.
Because I think like these kind of things, like
are there people that are like all the time I've spent masturbating? I think it's like Gary V. That's a Gary V video. You what are you even doing? You even masturbating? What you need to do is go and achieve your dreams. You need to go out there and you need to be grinding. You need to figure out TikTok. You need to solve a puzzle. You need to go cure world hunger. Like, go figure it out instead of jerking off all the time. Like, how much are you jerking off? And what do you like? Just figure it out.
You need to make a thing of it. Hey, everyone.
Cut down times, guys.
But these like the normal like, hashtag like No Shave November. That's like raising awareness for like testicular cancer.
Testicular. Yeah.
And you could do that for charity. If someone comes, hey, I'm normally clean shaved, but I'm not shaving in November. Throw them a couple of bucks, I guess. For charity. But if someone comes up to me,
I'm not gonna pay you to like not shave.
Yeah, if someone comes up to me with a clipboard and says, "Hey, by the way, I'm not ejaculating for the entire month of November," get the fuck out of my face.
And also, I'm gonna have to take your word for it at that point, and I don't care enough to follow up on it.
Yeah, No Shave November. It's pretty obvious that they're not shaving.
Yeah, like I can see that. I'm not gonna check on whether or not you're masturbating. It's fucking weird.
It's maybe like you check in with them every like 10 days, and if they look more miserable than the last time, maybe they are doing it. Maybe they're keeping up on that. But yeah,
that might be it. Or maybe they're just focused on their goals at that point. I don't know how it works.
Just use better time management. You can jack.
You shouldn't be doing that. Yeah, it shouldn't take all day.
Like I don't never
life lessons
off the beaten path. Like porn movies. Who's watching porn for an hour and a half at a time? Let's get to the good bits.
Yeah.
I don't know. This is you for today.
Watch the highlights.
Just watch the highlights.
That's what they give me the Sports Center version of this.
The Manning cast.
Those are like compilation videos. That would be hilarious, like a porn star.
I would watch the Manning cast.
And so right here now, oh my God, it was all over my face. It was all over.
And then pause it. Get the.
I feel like I'd make it through. I wouldn't make it through a lot of the porn cast.
So what you see here?
I would tune in to see what was going on.
He was aiming for the mouth, but he lost 46% on the chin.
Funny story. Yeah.
ESPN make it happen on ESPN Plus, maybe.
Well, I think a Pornhub's got to be in charge of that one. I feel like.
For some strange reason, I feel like Eli Manning would do that for just shits and giggles.
No,
but I don't think Peyton would do it.
I don't think either of them would do it. They got a pretty cushy gig to not like piss people off right now. I love the Manning cast though. It's like just watching Monday Night Football with my buddies, my friend Peyton and Eli, and then I don't know who they got coming over tonight. Let's find out. I didn't
tell you who they haven't got. I didn't know this coming up.
But they have Bill Burr and Barack Obama on the same one. That's pretty wild. My close personal friend Bill Burr.
I'm sure it's not too long until you're interviewing Barack Obama for Pass the Gravy.
Yeah, dude. But I don't really want to get into politics, I always say
that'd
stay
be
away
the beautiful
from those
thing.
politicians.
Imagine asking Barack Obama, what would Jesus do?
Just call him Barry the whole time. What's up, Barry? Barry, yo! How you doing, bro? So you been up to anything lately, man? Like, what are you, tired? I don't know if you guys know this. He used to be the president. People's like, yeah, we fucking know who he is. Well, this is my good friend Barry. Yeah, I'd have Barry Obama on.
Let's make it happen.
And I'd have Biden on. I'd have all politicians on now.
Speaking of who's probably not going to be on the Manning cast anytime soon, segueing into New York sports. Kyrie Irving. Have you seen this shit? Did he do?
So he's like, did he support Kanye or it's something against Jewish?
Apparently
all I saw is he is anti-Semitic now, and that's like in the last 24 hours, I've seen that on Twitter.
So he didn't post anything anti-Semitic, but he shared on his social media an anti-Semitic mini film and was pretty much like, huh? Hmm? So technically
Just asking questions, you know?
But then the Brooklyn Nets, as the wonderful organization as they are, thought, you know what? Whilst everyone's clamoring for us to punish Kyrie Irving, now would be a good time to fire someone else, and they fire their head coach.
Look at that.
He
Quick,
deserved
look
to
at
go.
this.
He deserved to go, by the way. I'm not saying he didn't. The head coach was terrible. Brooklyn Nets are like 1-5, 1-6 already this season. But now's did you have to choose now to do it?
I mean, they had to do a news dump. Got to bury the story at some point. But yeah, dude, Kyrie Irving is the guy that also said that the Earth was flat. I don't really trust him much when I want to go to like global politics and geography. Honestly, most of what Kyrie Irving, if it's not like basketball related, I'm just like, I don't have an interest in it. Like, he's allowed to do whatever he wants to do. I don't have to care about it, and I don't.
He is drastically limiting the casual conversation you can have with him. Like I say, like if you don't agree with someone politically, you just avoid politics in the conversation. It's fine. But yeah, you can't talk to him about geography. You can't like what?
Yeah. You can't I just don't know though how people out in this world are worried about Kyrie Irving when Brittany Griner is still locked up in a Russian prison. You know, like we only have so much time to worry about so many things, and I have been on the hashtag Free Britney movement, so like I really didn't know about what was going on with Kyrie because I'm so laser focused on trying to get our girl free that
one thing at a time,
that's the basketball I care about right now. It's the game of freedom, and we're trying to play for that every day with Brittany.
Also, are you gonna pay Elon $8 a month to get a nice tick on next year name?
I don't think that's real.
He tweeted.
I think it's one of those things where
you think he's trolling.
He's throwing feelers out because he knew it was going to get people to go wild, and it worked.
That's what he needs. He needs the numbers. He wants to go viral.
He needs numbies. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, that's what's been going on in the world. Let's talk about Giants and West Ham, shall we?
Let's
Giants. Giants first. Giants lost against the
Seahawks.
The quarterbacks that replaced Eli Manning derby. Fucking Geno.
Yeah. Yeah. Fuck Geno.
Okay.
First off, fuck him. He's a
fuckface. Before the Seahawks scored their last touchdown. So I'm not familiar how that went down because I was just, fuck this. But Jerry, up until that point, am I crazy in thinking that game, we could have easily won that game if it wasn't for 2 or 3 really clear fuck-ups?
Two in particular. I mean, if Richie James does not fumble 2 punts, then we are. I mean, they scored that last touchdown inside our 30, so that pretty much to seal it. They got the ball back, got a field goal out of it on the first one. Just there were definitely errors that happened, and this was just a case of like, I don't know, they just came out flat. They came out flat, and they've always kind of been able to pick it up in the second half, and Pete Carroll did a good job prepping for him. Like, I was really mad when I watched this, and then I watched it back the next day. NFL Plus, shout out to us for having NFL Plus, but I wanted to kind of see some other stuff. And just like, dude, there were breakdowns in coverage. I mean, Daniel Jones didn't look that bad. He had no receivers. He wasn't really getting any help by his wideouts. It just shit. Hold on. Chill out. I hate ESPN just throwing ads on everything. Like, I don't care about Reggie Bush and the fucking Wendy's commercial, guys. Relax. But yeah, no, like the Giants.
That's a Wendy's though.
The Seahawks beat us, but the Giants also like caused themselves too much harm, like overcome it this time, and like we've always been able to overcome that this season. And this is a team that's rebuilding, and that's kind of what I had to keep telling myself. And then when I watched it back, it's like, dude, we don't have anybody out like to spread the field out as a wideout. Like our tight end, Daniel Bellinger, I really feel good about going forward. He's a great blocking tight end. He's very Kevin Boss like I've compared him to before. But Daniel Bellinger being out with the eye injury, which apparently he could be back before the end of the season, like that was noticeable. We just had nobody that was a consistent, reliable tight end, not shitting on our other guys. But Saquon to Saquon, he's going to be Saquon. We had 2 offensive linemen out, and I thought our offensive line didn't look great, but they didn't look terrible. Like it wasn't like the worst showing that this offensive line has had. And just defensively, like I thought Seattle like ran some stuff that was able to trip us up. We have a linebacking issue where we just were not good at misdirection plays. And when they had us on misdirection plays, like that kind of the difference in that the Kenneth Walker touchdown, there were some missed tackles on that I think we could have avoided that touchdown on. And I mean, you look at, like you said, 3 plays, I think 3, maybe 4 plays that game go differently, than the Giants are in a chance to win the game, and who knows what happens. Just I gotta keep reminding myself, like, we are in a rebuilding season. This is like if you had told us the Giants were going to be 6-2 at the bye week, I would have just been like, yeah, I'll take it. I'll take it. And I mean, 7-1 would have been awesome. Is this team going to win the Super Bowl? No, they're not. And I need to just keep telling myself that when I'm getting frustrated with them, because it is easy to get frustrated with them. But it's also funny because like last year it was like, fuck you, Joe Judge, you piece of shit. Fuck you, Gettleman. Like now I'm like, am I mad at Richie James? I am mad at Richie James, but like he's a practice squad wide receiver. Like this guy would not be on the active roster.
What an idiot.
I mean, I hope he's okay.
Yeah.
But like I can't be mad at him or Johnson or anybody that was called up from the practice squad because we don't have anybody else at the position. You're like, that's why we have these games. That's why things like this happen, because we have absolutely nobody at the position. Obviously, Shane and Dave they're going to address that in the offseason and in the draft, and that's coming. Same with the linebackers. There's glaring holes there, but it's very frustrating seeing that like we've been able to win games the way we've been able to win games, which isn't like pretty football, but it's just gritty football and getting the job done. We're going to lose games because we don't have the talent. And like, there's like the Eagles have the talent, the Cowboys, I fucking hate them. They have the talent, but like we don't have the talent, and we're still tied with the Cowboys for second place in the division right now, which is pretty nuts. We have so many glaring holes, but this is what this coaching staff and front office is able to do with this coaching staff and front office are able to do with the lack of talent we have on the roster right now. I can't imagine what it's only up from here in my eyes right now, and I'm completely bought in on this new group. I think like we can fight for the playoffs. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. I mean, we've definitely benefited from a fairly easy schedule this year, but I think what'll be fun, Mike, is we're gonna be the team that's in the hunt graphic for the majority of like the second half of the season, I think, unless we just absolutely shit the bed and don't win. But like if you look at, I was trying to make myself feel better on Monday. So I looked at our schedule and I was like, if we could get to 10 wins, like that would be wild, right? Well, our next 2 games are against Houston and Detroit. Detroit was just trading people. Houston, not good. So that's 8 wins right there.
And then we still got to play the Commanders twice.
They're getting sick. They're getting slightly better. Yeah. You say we split, even if we split the 2 games with the Commanders. That's 9. That's one of the 2 wins right there. If we sweep them, that's 10. And then we play the Colts the weekend before the end of the season. So like that's 10, 11 wins I could see us possibly getting. We're going to probably lose to Dallas. We're probably going to get swept by Philadelphia unless they've mailed it in because they got that 1 seed. But I mean, we could be talking about a Giants team that we thought, I think the over-under on wins was 4.5 this season. Like Vegas was like, will the Giants win more or less than 4.5?
Improve on 4 wins. So the fact that we're seeing it 6 already.
I think I said if we had 7 to 8 wins, I would be very pleased with what Dable and Shane were able to do. And we are 2 wins away from the top half of that, So it's very possible the Giants could get to 10 wins. I don't fucking know, man. Weird shit happens in football. Maybe everything falls our way and we fuck up the Cowboys on Thursday night on Thanksgiving. And what if we finish with 12 wins? A 12-win Giant team? Like, that's fucking crazy. I don't want to get too far ahead of myself, but like, it's football. Football goes weird ways, and the way that the Giants have been playing, we've had luck on our side, and I think Sunday we saw that luck was not on our side in certain cases, and just things add up. I'm just we just got to remember, like, when shit's going wrong, like, instead of getting mad, which is my initial reaction, it's just cause like with Joe Judge, we didn't know where this fucking franchise was. I think they're building towards something, and I'm fine just being like, all right, we're ahead of schedule, I think.
And I don't know what your thoughts are about the fact that the Giants picked up nobody during the free agency.
I think that means we're clearly in a rebuild.
I'm not mad about it.
There are so many people that, I'm sorry.
I'd rather not make a knee-jerk, because we're doing slightly well this year, let's spend over the odds on a player that might help us a little bit this season. Screw it. Let's just ride this out and use the trade picks that we picked up, thanks to Kadarius Toney. We hardly knew ye. And keep going. Keep the trajectory where we're going. Don't mess things up.
Yeah, like, we're not going to mortgage our future right now for maybe making the playoffs this year. And I think that there were so many people that, and I get it, because like, it's easy to be a fan and not look at the cap. And I don't really understand. The cap is weird to me. I still don't understand it, but like, I understand some of it. And the Giants have dressed 48 and 49 players multiple weeks this season because we don't have the cap room to sign other people to make it a 53-man roster. The Giants have played with less than 53 men, I believe, 3 weeks this season because we can't afford it. And people being like, dude, just trade for Jerry Jeudy. Jerry Jeudy's $4.5 million a year on his fucking contract. We don't have that cap space. And we're not going to fucking like this was a eat shit year for Joe Schoen and for Brian Daboll because of what Gettleman and Judge had put this franchise into on just signing people and dead cap space that we're going to have. And if you release certain players, you're just going to have to eat that money, but you can't spend it towards the cap. And there's all kinds of stuff like that like people didn't think about, people didn't factor in. And I had to kind of do some research on it too, because I was like, well, maybe Brandon Cooks wasn't going to happen. Fucking Jerry Jeudy wasn't going to happen. We didn't have to give up anything. Like we didn't want to give up first and second round picks. We didn't want to give up third round picks. I understand maybe if we got somebody for like a fifth, sixth round pick, but honestly, we ride with the guys we got. You see who's worth sticking around next season. Get Wan'Dale some fucking balls, bro. Like, let's just have Darius Slayton and Wan'Dale Robinson ball the fuck out. Like, I don't know, figure it out. And then we go and we draft receivers. We sign somebody that's a free agent when we have cap space in the offseason. We work on some linebackers. We don't need to try and upgrade right now in a division that we're probably the third best team in out of 4, even though we have had a good record. We don't need to mortgage future draft picks when they've accumulated those future draft picks to build this team in the future. And when you look at what Joe Schoen was the assistant GM for when they built what they did in Buffalo, that Buffalo was they were perfect at just doing building it the way they did, where they didn't make any overreaction picks. They didn't do anything like that. They didn't make any crazy moves. They traded for Stephon Diggs, but they needed a number 1 wide receiver. They had the extra picks to trade for Stephon Diggs. They didn't mortgage their future for it. They waited for Josh Allen to fall to them. They still don't really have a running back. I think they traded for Nyheim Hines. Like, he's not a stud running back. They're just like, we're going to figure it out with what we got. Brian Daboll and Joe Schoen are like, Daniel Jones can run the ball. Saquon Barkley can run the ball. We're going to run the ball. We're going to figure out what we're good at. We're going to do that. That's what the Bills were built around. And then they figured out, okay, let's just make this defense just game stoppers. And then let's put up 1 billion points. And eventually, after 3-4 years of building that team up, you have the Bills that we have right now. And I would give anything for the Giants to be that good in the future. And so let's focus on that. Just keep telling yourself they're going to be like the Bills in a couple of years. They're going to be like the Bills in a couple of years. It's not worth it right now. With the fact that
talking about the cap space and things like that, if things keep going the way we're going, we're going to have to spend money to keep Saquon. We're going to have to spend money to keep Daniel Jones.
Yeah. Yeah, you're using your brain right there. A lot of people don't realize that. It's like, do we let Saquon walk this year? Because we're gonna have to if we were bringing in all these guys. We're gonna have to sign. Kenny Galladay's fucking gone. Fuck that piece of shit. But like other guys, there's so many other options that we have. I feel like that like going forward, we're not worth mortgaging what we had in this current season. They weren't worth mortgaging picks and being in just cap hell because we're gonna have spending money here in the next couple of years, and that's what we need to work towards. So then we can pay our guys, we can bring in new guys, and we can build on the team. Like if we're a team that's this shitty, like talent wise, and we're rolling at 6-2. What if we had talent? Then who knows how good we could be.
Also, quick shout out to Quentin Hughes, first time live viewer on Facebook. Shout out,
I hung out with Quentin on Friday night. He and his wife were getting me some tequila shots, and let's just say I was feeling that the next morning. Nice. Quentin's a Giants fan, Giants Astros fan.
So am I.
Yeah.
For the next couple of days, I'm an Astros fan. Are you just viewing the World Series as a neutral right now, or are you?
I am neutral.
Are you the person that's like, fuck the
Astros
Astros because they beat the Yankees?
Mean. Or... They were mean to me. Their fans were rude to me, so I don't hope that they're happy. But then I hope that the Phillies are also unhappy. So Thursday night, now that they got the games pushed back, I'm hoping that I can get tickets to the Texans Eagles, do a little scouting, for our next game, and then also just like boo the Eagles.
Yeah.
So like I'll get to do two things that I would enjoy doing, and not have to watch the World Series.
But yeah, I'm not going to watch the World Series. But I'm
not going to watch it.
I'm the advocate of. I want the team that beat my team to win the whole thing. So at the very least, I can say, "Well, we lost to the champions." That's how I roll. Yeah. Alex's second favorite baseball team is the Astros. He doesn't have a second favorite baseball team. No one does. And if you do, you're weird. You have one team and one team only.
Well, Pat also he's a Red Sox and Astros fan.
Like I guess you could appreciate them because they're your hometown team, I guess. But you don't put them as your favorite team. Quentin Hughes, I never got into basketball until I got to Houston. So go Astros.
Go Rocket or baseball. I think you mean baseball.
Baseball, yeah. I mean, that's how not into baseball he was. He calls it basketball.
Yeah, sometimes. Basketball, maybe. Yeah.
Touchdown. That's what we want to see. A bunch of touchdowns in the World Series.
But we got a bye coming up for the Giants. Again,
playing Texans.
What? Yeah, then we're playing the Texans. Back at home. I mean, like that's another thing going against it. Like they had 2 road trips to wind down the first half of the season. You had that long trip to Seattle. There was just so many things that I feel like could have contributed to it, not just the stuff that ended up going down in the game. This was, we needed something like this. And what if that was the wake up call we just beat the fuck out of everybody from now on? Maybe that's what we needed. Remember that Seattle game? That's the DVD moment on the Super Bowl DVD. It's like, well, they lost to Seattle and the team had to come together.
Boy, my Thunder Waffles on YouTube. Houston is waiting for an NHL team. I mean, you can have the Devils if you want. I'm sick of them.
You like the Devils?
I like the Devils, but they're don't
good.
like me. They're hurting my
the other night.
They always do that thing. They lure me in, and then suddenly
they got a talented team this season, I think.
To be fair, I haven't even looked into this season because I just assume they lose every game.
Oh no, they don't. They don't. But yeah, Giants. I think you have to give Dable probably is coach of the year at this point right now. If you had to give middle of the season awards, they don't. That's not a real thing. But I think that we can't be disappointed with the way that the Giants it feels like it's a sour taste in our mouth going into the bye week with a loss, but 6-2. We didn't expect this, so I'm happy right now.
No, the Seahawks game going into that, I think everyone expected, or at least assumed we would lose that game. I think it's just one. It's almost like the West Ham way of you go into a game expecting to lose, and then they they just do enough to think, oh, maybe we can win it, and then they fuck it up.
Yeah.
Quentin Hughes, I want to blame it on Richie, but the Giants didn't do enough early. There was,
agreed. I mean, Richie contributed to it. He didn't make it easier,
but he got concussion. So was he riding with a concussion when he made the second fuck up? We don't know. Who knows? And Bobby McThunderwaffles, Barkley's the comeback player. I see where you're coming from, but I don't think he is a good comeback player because he never went away in terms of his playing level. It was just he was always injured. But whenever he did play, he was always a monster. Ish.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to think who would
a couple of examples you can come up with, but you know what I mean. Comeback player, Daniel Jones, but same.
That's not. It's like you had to come back from like an injury or some shit. Like Joe Burrow was last year.
Oh, if you're coming back from an injury, then I guess you could say Saquon. But
so he's in the discussion at least. I think he's definitely in the discussion.
Next time, bye week, and then Houston at home, in which Mr. Middleton will be there.
Making the trek, bro. Making the trek up there.
I haven't even looked at tickets. Maybe I could. I don't know.
You gotta get some ticks.
Are you gonna pregame or are you gonna tailgate?
I'd be down to tailgate.
Let's see if I can get tickets. But if not, we'll do some daytime drinking on Saturday. So you're nice and drunk for the comedy show on Saturday night. Right, I think that's wrapped up nicely for Giants. I think we've put the world to rights there.
Yeah.
Let's talk about our Claret and Blue brothers. It's time to talk about some West Ham.
Hammer time.
Not great. We're like the tale of two teams because in the conference league we are fucking
amazing,
badass, but then in the Premier League, which is the one that probably matters most, not so good.
Well, we've had an unfortunate little run since I can't remember the last time we spoke. Did we speak? Last time we did a show was before the Southampton game, I think.
Yeah, which we won that. So okay.
No, we drew that 1-1, and then we lost to Liverpool, and then we beat Bournemouth, which I was actually impressed about because Bournemouth is normally one of those sides where we fuck up, and then beat Silkeborg, and then lost to Man United. Man United, my God, that fucking if it wasn't for David De Gea in goal for Man United.
God damn it, dude! I thought we had that one. I thought we had that.
Jesus.
And then the header there at the end, I thought we had.
And then that thunder bastard of a strike from Declan Rice, which was like a rocket ship. That last 10 minutes was all West Ham.
Declan Rice is so fucking good.
He is very talented young man.
Like I was out at a brunch, and so I had to look back at the game later. But I saw the run that he had where he runs the Man United guy out of bounds and then just fucking takes a sidestep and keeps going with the ball. Dude, you just got run out of bounds on a fucking wide open field, you dumbass. Declan Rice fucking putting people on skates.
Yeah, and Man United weren't even that convincing. That was the great goal by Rashford, if I remember correctly. But yeah, it was just one of those games where we sat back a little bit too much in the second half, but that last 10, 15 minutes, Jesus Christ, how we didn't at least get a point from that.
Where's United at on the table? They are okay. They're.
I mean, they're a very good team right now. They're
Ten
Hag has got them playing very well.
Yeah,
it's just that we need to
Hag. I don't trust that guy.
We need to start picking up some points. I mean, we've got a half decent run coming up. So we've got FCSB in the Europa Conference League on Thursday.
Which doesn't really matter. This is a game where we're number one in that group.
Yeah,
check that bitch off.
So
we haven't lost.
To see a lot of
nobody giving a fuck
in that same as last
Coventry. Year. Put that guy out there again.
Yeah,
what's your dad's favorite player? Better start.
Flynn Downs.
Yeah, Flynn. Put Flynn out there.
For those who don't know, background story, my dad literally only texts me like once they announce the starting lineup of a West Ham game, it's either, oh, I wish Flynn Downs would start, or I'm glad Flynn Downs is starting. That's
How
it.
about Flynn Downs? Huh? He looks good.
Although before the fucking about 20 minutes before we went live, I got a missed call from my dad, and I was like, what? It's like 10 o'clock. Why is he calling me at this time? He literally never phones me. And so I'm like, fuck. So I phone him back, and he's like, oh, sorry, pressed the wrong button. See you later. Oh, fuck's sake.
I accidentally made an international call.
No, luckily he did it through. So somehow he accidentally opened up WhatsApp, opened up a conversation with me, and then clicked phone. I don't know, maybe he fell over. Life alarm, whatever it's called. I'm bored. I can't get up.
Life alert.
Listen, life alert.
Life alert. But so looking at our schedule ahead, the fixtures. We've got whoever the fuck FCSB is. And then we got Crystal Palace, which seems like a game we should probably win. Even the Crystal Palace is
they're a London team, so it's a bogey. It's a bogey, but yeah, we should win that.
But if we beat them, then we move up. Like that would be a very big win. Like we're at that point where if we get a couple of wins together, we can string some wins together in the Premier League. We could get back into that top 10 again. And that's really kind of. Then we can make a move in the second half, or is it? It's not really the second half, is it? Because it's like pre-World Cup and post-World Cup, which is the most of the season.
But yeah, we
got to make some moves before.
2 games left before the World Cup break.
Oh, God damn, we got to play Arsenal. I don't want to do that.
Well, that's not till after the break. So hopefully, because Arsenal play really well. Leicester. So hopefully a bunch of Arsenal players get to go to the World Cup and they come back super tired and we just destroy them.
God forbid any of them get injured.
Oh,
God forbid.
God
forbid. Would never wish that on another member. God forbid.
Yeah. But I would be
God
sad.
forbid. God forbid
we said
any of them were to get injured in the World Cup.
You almost went into your Frankie Ocho impression threatening kind of.
Hey. God forbid.
Frankie Ocho's got his passport ready. I'm gonna go to Qatar.
He's got an Italian passport ready to go. But yeah, Leicester has been the bottom of the barrel team. Like honestly, aren't they fighting off relegation right now? Let me look.
They are.
Yeah, they are.
Horrendous.
They would be relegated if the season ended. What happened to them?
Ever since winning the Premier League, they have. I don't know what the fuck happened.
Well, they've been up there with us, like competing for those. Aren't they in Conference League this year?
No, I don't think so. No, I think we're the only Conference League.
Weren't they like 7th or 8th?
Oh, now you're making me do research.
But they think they finished. Like they've been right there with us. I don't know what happened to them this year. It's weird.
So, yes, they finished. We finished 7th last year, and they finished 8th.
See, still trap. I remember things. I don't remember anything important, but I remember where other teams finished around us somehow.
You should remember some things.
Yeah.
But yeah, we need to go undefeated. It's funny to get. God, Jesus Christ! World Cup in November still doesn't seem right. You're gonna get
an English jersey, like an England team jersey.
Am I gonna get one?
Yeah, you get a Declan Rice jersey, a kit.
No, I never get. Well, I used to, but I learned my lesson. Never get a player's name on the back of a shirt because they only break your heart, and then you're stuck with a stupid shirt you can't wear anymore. Like I've got plenty of West Ham shirts with names on the back that I can't wear anymore because it's like, why the fuck?
And you have to wait a long enough time for it to be cool.
Well, no, I think I've got Lampard on one of mine. I don't think that's ever going to come back into fashion.
Probably not.
And for some reason, I got Freddie Ljungberg's name on one of them. What the fuck was I thinking?
Yeah, it's a weird move.
Like he played for us for like 6 months.
I have a Sonoris Moss Giants jersey. He didn't really do anything.
That's why I played it safe with Major. I got Saquon. You know, I think that's safe. No matter what happens, unless he does something.
Saquon.
But yeah, I'm assuming. So, are we still gonna do the show during the World Cup? You're gonna partake in some World Cup action?
I'm gonna try.
You're not gonna watch every single game available to you.
Maybe
You're not gonna. I actually pulled this up. Maybe you're not gonna get up at 4 a.m. to watch Switzerland versus Cameroon.
No, weekend. Maybe I mean I'll be up anyways during the regular
week,
work week, so I will probably have it on a computer at least.
But I swear when they were doing the fixtures or the schedule, they knew let's put the shitty games on the first game, like Argentina, Saudi Arabia, Morocco versus Croatia, Wales versus Iran. Ooh.
Yeah, we gotta play to our audience.
And because they put USA England on the late game the day after Thanksgiving.
What time is that at? Like 8?
That's no, not that late because Qatar's like 6-7 hours ahead of us. So it's at I lost it. It's 2 p.m. my time, 1 p.m. your time. So enough.
Okay.
And late-ish enough.
I mean, like 8 a.m. But yeah, that's not bad. Yeah. That's definitely doable.
So yeah, we'll talk about the big action in the World Cup coming up.
Right.
So should we do predictions? I mean, FSCB, FCSB, whatever.
I don't know what the fuck's gonna happen in that one. That seems like the loss. Like it's probably we'll probably like not play
last
anybody.
Year's when we was already through and we didn't care. We played the youth team. We lost, I think, 1-0 to someone. I wouldn't be shocked if we lose this like 2-1 or something, but I don't really care. Big one, Crystal Palace. Are we going to be back in the win column?
We better be. I'm just going to say yes, just because I want us to win. So that is my answer for that. Then we got Blackburn on Wednesday next week. Shit. The Blackburn Rovers.
I think the last time we faced them, if I remember correctly, in a cup competition was when Dimitri Payet was still playing for us, and we played him in the FA Cup, if I'm correct, and we beat them 5-1. So let's go for another one of those.
Let's do that. I like that.
Let's do that.
But we'll be back on here before that game.
But yeah, that's pretty much. I think we put the balls right. We just need to score more goals.
So.
I think
that's what I always say.
We are only Wolves and Nottingham Forest, who are 19th and 20th, have scored less goals than us. Like, we need to start putting balls in nets. That's my piece of advice.
I agree. So let's do that going forward.
And will it into existence. I felt good. All right. Before we wrap this up, let's talk about what other great content our wonderful listeners have got to look forward to if they want more Alex Middleton in their life. They want more Mike Fish in their life. More podcasts coming
what do you got on Waffle Box coming up?
Waffle Box, we're talking about, we're going rogue, something that no one's talking about. We're dipping our toes in a little bit of, modern day COVID talk in the people that were trapped at the happiest place in the world, Disneyland, because there's zero COVID for all. So we're going to discuss, what it might be like to be trapped at Disneyland, and then other interesting places that you'd like to be trapped at for like 10 days. And then he's talking about, so I thought we're going to fill out the first half of the show really fun, because then Kush going to movie review. His movie review this week is Till, which is a story about Emmett Till. And I can't imagine there's many laughs.
Probably going to be
in
a little
that.
heavy.
Yeah. So I'm going to try to lighten up the first half. So it balances out.
Yeah.
That's
I like
that's
that.
What we got. Yeah. What about that's new episode tomorrow at Waffle Box Pod, Twitter, Instagram. Check that out. Past the Gravy, also new episode coming out tomorrow. What are the people in the Gravy Gang got to look forward to, other than a Barry Obama interview? Apparently,
we don't. Not Barry. Barry's not on this week. We're trying to. We'll try and get him on in the future. But we're going to talk about. We're going to give you guys a date for our Christmas Spooktacular, our 9th annual Christmas Spooktacular. We got that all ironed out, and we're going to officially make the announcement tomorrow on the podcast. We're going to talk about the return of one of our favorite guys, David S. Pumpkins. He made his comeback triumphantly this weekend. The XFL, we're looking ahead at that because you guys know we're big XFL guys on the pod. And then
Jersey lost its team.
Well, nobody went to the games, so kind of why. But then we are also going to tell you guys what's not cool and answer some of your questions this week. I actually have like a Giants related not cool for mine, one of them. So tune in, Pass the Gravy Podcast at Pass the Gravy Pod on Twitter and Instagram and TikTok.
As my dog opens the door in the background, never shuts the door. Never.
Oreo's stoked about the podcasts.
Jeez. I did pop big for that Saturday Night Live moment where are you from? Before that made me laugh.
It's so weird. It's so weird, but it's so good.
It is, but it is very good. So yeah, that's the schedule. Check that out. So a new episode of Waffle Box comes out at midnight. So check that out in the morning. Wake yourself up with Waffle Box, and then later in the afternoon, Past the Gravy drops new episode. So double dose of podcast.
Do it.
Wonderful in your ears tomorrow. Yes, so make sure you follow all of us at cbbpod.com. At cbbpod, and then the website is cbbpod.com. I am only Mike Fish. He is at Alex J. Middleton. And until next week, don't forget.
Seahorses forever.
See you next Tuesday.
Hey, let's go to Peyton. He's going to break down that touchdown. Can't hear shit. Never mind.